Okay guys, we got the 2-driving 2879C with 2290 drivers here. This one is sold to a customer, supposed to pick it up in person tomorrow. We want to do one additional test for him, and that was to show the bypass tune or the pass-through tune, if you would, on the amp. So basically you've got our dummy load, or what would be our antenna, coming into the watt meter. Watt meter goes around to the amp, and then coming out of the amp, we have a jumper that would normally go to the radio. So all we're doing is showing the SWR that would be presented to the radio should the amp not be powered on or be keying up. If you had the amp, if it had a standby switch in it and you had the amp on standby, or if you have the amp powered off, this is the SWR on the other side of the amp basically that would be coming to your radio. So I'm just going to X out here and show it real quick. That way everybody knows I'm not pulling any trickery. We're going to hit number 8 for show all. Check mark, our frequency is 27265, SWR is 109, 53 ohms, 53.3 ohms. So basically perfect. Yeah, sure, we'd like to have it a 100, that would be great. But even my dummy load is like a 105. So we go from a 105 to a 109, basically not changing it all. Basically a perfect pass-through or bypass SWR there, or very close to perfect. If it's below, you know, a personal preference, I've got some amps, tube amps, that will show like a 1.3 or a 1.4 coming to the radio, and it's not the end of the world to me. But obviously you want it as close as you can to being a 1.1 or so. But that's it. We're going to unhook the jumper, pause the video, hook it into the radio, and show the output test on this amp. I'll be right back. Alright guys, so here we are back online. Going to test the 2-driving 4. Again, this gentleman, he's already bought one of these and he wanted to buy a second one. Liked the first one so well, he's buying a second one, so we're going to test it out real quick and show you what all it does. First thing we're going to do, that's at 14.7, might as well say 14.6. We'll test and see the output on it and the current draw, so not drawing any current there, that's always a good sign. We'll just give it an audio real quick. Audio 70 amps, and that is at 14.5, 14.6. Output at that voltage, 1000 watt slug, bottom scale. Audio almost 500 watts average. Getting with it pretty good. PEP. Check audio, 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 check audio. Over 1,000. Now just for kicks, what we'll do, we'll come over here and bump the voltage up just a little bit. I think he's going to run it on 14.5, so really don't even have to do this, but just for kicks, we're going to go, there we go, we'll go 15.1. That reads a 10th high, so we're actually at 15.1. So it draws a little bit more current, 74 amps there rather than 70. Actually jumped up to 76 there at once. Back on average power over here. Audio. Hello. Audio. You guys can see average power. I always point this out so people don't think I'm trying to pull any tricks. It's really dependent on your tone of voice as to how you can make that meter move on average power. So realistically, still around 500 watts average. You saw it bump up a little bit more at the end. Certain voice peaks it was a little bit less, but when someone's showing you average power, you can really manipulate the way the meter moves by throwing your voice. That's why some of these guys that test amps, including myself, except I point it out and tell people that. They'll say, audio, and you'll see it, the meter go back and forth. But I like to point that out. I don't want anybody thinking I'm trying to pull anything shady. So around 500 watts average, maybe a little less on 14.5, maybe a little more on 15 volts. Now this is peak power. Oh, check, audio, check, audio, check, audio, check, audio, check, audio, check, audio, check, audio. A little more authoritative right there. And if you want to hear me just talk into the mic normal, radio check, breaker 19, radio check, audio check. I'd like to get a radio check on this radio, radio check. Still lays it over there past 1,000. So good stout 2-drive and 4. I think the last one he got was really stout too. So I told him with any luck this one would be just as good. Good bypass tune on it. Good power output at 14.5 volts or 15.1. You know, for what it's doing a little bit more at 15. But if it was mine, I would run it at 14.5. Even though it's got 2879Cs in it. I mean, you guys can see on the watt meter, it draws about 5 more amps if we turn the voltage up. And it does what? 100 more watts probably. Laying that 1,000 watt slug over pretty hard on peak. So just as an estimate, without putting another slug in there, you know, I would say 1,100 watts PEP, maybe 1,150. Yeah, let's see. If you say peak is 2.5 times, it was doing 500 watts, so maybe even 1,250 watts or so, 1,200, 1,250. Somewhere in that ballpark is probably what it's doing, PEP. But a good running amp. I'm gonna let it run for a little while, and this one will be leaving here tomorrow. Like I said, good guy picking it up, good customer. Appreciate his business. We'll turn this all the way down just to see. I didn't even think about testing the variable out. We'll see what kind of difference it makes. 1,000 watt slug. Audio, check. It still swings way up there. Just lowers our dead key a lot. So check. Not putting 1,000 to the wall like it was, but still doing really well. Okay, guys, that's it. I appreciate it. More videos coming up. Trying to get an inventory video done soon, but I got to get people's stuff out of here that's already been paid for before I do that. As always, appreciate everybody's business and support. Rooster in Tennessee, questions, comments, complaints, let me know. Shoot me a text, 423-299-3535. 2x4, 2879C, 2290 drivers. Everybody have a good one. See you, bye.